Good morning, everybody. My name is Colleen, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. My website is Cards by Coco. I come live every Thursday morning at 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I come to you from Southwest Washington. So here I am, and we're going to do a fun layout today. I think you're going to like this one. It's a great way to use up your designer series paper. I've made 3 cards. We're going to do this happy birthday one together. 3 cards, 3 completely different looks using the Celebration Designer Series paper. You know, Celebration ends in 4 days. So if there's something you want, now is the time to place an order. Just because I don't want you to miss out on anything. We're having a snow day here in Southwest Washington, so I may not be able to see your comments or who's bouncing on. I can say good morning to Sharon because I'm looking at the camera right now. So anyway, let me get you flipped around. Let's get this started. And I think you're really going to like this project. It's an easy layout you can use for pretty much everything. So let me turn you around. You're going to just see a little bit of the back door or the office door, I should say, not the back door. Let me pop on my glasses so I can actually see what I'm doing here. Put these up in here. I'm going to bring you up on my laptop. Yeah, it's a snowy day here in Southwest Washington. I knew we were having fall spring even in my last newsletter. And if you don't subscribe to my newsletter, please do. Don't subscribe to my newsletter. I don't know why I can't ever remember to turn off that volume. I'm sorry. And I even made this big comment about Southwest Washington being in the fall spring type of our weather. Because that usually happens. We have a nice big burst of warm weather and then poof, back comes the snow. Anyway, these are the cards we're making today. So I wanted to show you what I used in this Celebration catalog. So the first, this is the Daffodil Afternoon Designer Series paper. And I thought this card was just so pretty. A get well. And then I used a little strip of that Designer Series paper on the inside. And I just love how this one turned out using the Evening Evergreen and just with the coordinating colors, the pale papaya, so easy to do. The second one I did was a thank you card. And I think if I was to make this one again, I would make black the primary color with that So Saffron as the secondary color. But that's not what I did, so here we go here. And this paper is the Simply Marvelous. And if you haven't received this, place a $50 order. And this is a great one to get. This paper is beautiful. It's fun. It goes with that awesome otter set perfectly, which is also a Celebration set. Anyway, and then this one that I'm using here for our birthday card. We haven't done a birthday card in a while, so let's do a birthday card. That is the Sunshine and Rainbows Designer Series paper. And if you haven't seen the Rainbow of Happiness bundle in the mini catalog, take a peek because it is really fun. In fact, next week I think we're going to be making a St. Patrick's Day card. I have some fun ideas to use that designer series or that set and make a card using those rainbows for St. Patrick's Day. Anyway, this is the card we're making today. It goes pretty quick. It's very easy to do. I've got things cut out. Hopefully people are having a better weather in other parts of the country, although I don't think anyone's having great weather right now. So I'm using thick basic white here. It's kind of my go-to a lot of times. And this, of course, is at our 8.5 by 5.5, and I scored it at 4 1/4. So all of the dimensions are either listed under my YouTube videos or in my blog, and I will have the links posted in the next couple of hours. Using your bone folder, give that a little crease. Easy, you can see. So then I took a piece of this pool party It's a coordinating color, and I'm gonna flip that around. And if you hadn't seen this, let me show you the designer series paper before we get too carried away. I tend to get ahead of myself. But look at these great patterns here. So you can see it's just not all the rainbows and whatnot, right? Okay, I'm gonna do my flip. Look at this. If you're not into rainbows and whatnot, we have other patterns for you. I think this is one of the funnest. In fact, I got two packs of this just because I love this paper so much. And even though you may not see it pop up on my videos once it's retired very often, I will be using it and using it and using it. So this piece here, this layer here is, let me see here, it is 3 3/4 by 4 1/2. Then I brought in a piece of Flirty Flamingo, which I just love the Flirty Flamingo color. And this piece is cut at 3 1/2 by 4 1/4. So you can already see us starting to come together here. And then for our layers here, which we're gonna put here, these are 3 inches by 1 inch strips. So I cut it 3 by 4, and then I just did my 1 inches so I could line them up. But before we get going, I want us to do our stamping and some coloring. And the reason why I want to do that is I don't have any Flirty Flamingo ribbon, and that's what I wanted to put on there. So I grabbed my dark Flirty Flamingo marker, my Stampin blend, not the marker, pardon me, the Stampin blend. And I am going to take this because you can make this any color you want, this ribbon. But I want to give it a minute to dry. So we're going to do this first. We're going to change the color. And this is the crinkled seam binding ribbon. It's one of those things I always have in my stash in stock. And this is exactly the reason why. Because sometimes you need that pop of color on your cards, but you don't have the exact color you're looking for. Well, since our Stampin' blends are alcohol-based, they dry very quickly, and you can change the color of this ribbon very easy. So I did probably a little bit more, but I want to make sure we have plenty. So let me move this off to the side now, because there's one other thing I want us to color. I also don't have Flirty Flamingo gems, so I'm going to take my Rhinestone Basic Jewels, another one of those staple items for me. And I wanted to use the large ones at the bottom, and I'm just going to take the tip of my marker, and I'm going to color these. Give them a little sparkle, and then I'm going to do 2 of the smaller ones down here. Going to go back up to the top and do it again. Now, it doesn't look like much when it's on this paper here, but you can see how it changed on the card, but yet still has a good amount of sparkle, right? So if you have considered joining the Stampin' Up! Team, now's a great time for those of you who haven't heard, and I'm sure if you are interested in Stampin' at all, you have heard it from everybody. You can get the $125 worth of product for $99 with the 2 free stamp sets of your choice. So, love to have you a member of my team. And just feel like I want to give you the best information I can, but it's not a hard sell. I think I've said it many, many times. I do this just because I really like it. Okay, so I'm going to bring in the Misty Moonlight. Again, another coordinating color with that designer series paper. So, you know, you've seen me do it all the time. I always stamp off once, and hopefully I'm in camera here. I don't know why. I think I'm not streaming a second device very well. Because I seem to be stuck. So hopefully I'm moving for you guys. Let me see if I can bring it up again. I don't know what's going on here. You know, snow days do not make it easy for those of us who want to pop on and do a video, right? It does make it a little more complicated sometimes. So let's see here. All right, well, hopefully I'm going to look at the top of my phone, guys. So if, just real quick, hi, Wendy. Thank you for watching. If I'm not moving along, can somebody just let me know? So anyway, and then I'm going to flip this to the other side. Thank goodness there's 2 sides to every piece of paper. And this is just a scrap piece I had. You know, I save all of my scraps. And someday I will have to show you my wonky system. I'm very organized, but my husband always laughs because he's like, wow, that's quite the system you got going, Colleen. So I'm going to take sorry, I was off camera again. Let me move that out of the way. All right, so I think I'm going to do the Make-A-Wish here on the inside. And I'm going to go more towards the top. The nice thing about the grid paper is we can line it up and make it as even as we can. Perfect. That turned out nice. The other thing I'm going to do is complete the inside. Let me move the inky stuff out of the way. Is complete the inside layer here. So, because I want to coordinate the inside of my card with the outside, and that's exactly what I did here. I put a little strip. It dresses up your card right away. I will likely put sentiments inside of this in time. I just haven't done it yet because I don't know who I'm sending them to and if it's going to require a short note or a long note. So sometimes that is how I determine what I'm going to be doing. All right, so a little bit of adhesive, and I wanted wiggle room on this one. I'm going to balance it up here just to make sure I get to the bottom. Look at the top here. See, you can see I didn't get it even doing that. So let's run my finger down here. This is why I need the liquid adhesive sometimes. Add a little pull. All right, I think we're good. Let's go like that. And this time I did remember to bring out my glue scissors so I can give this a little snip. I always cut that piece a little over. It's hard to cut paper exactly even all the time. So there we go. So this is for the inside of our card now. And now that is done. And we had our other stamping done. So let me show you something here. If you haven't seen this cloud punch, oh, this is a fun one. So the cloud punch you can find on page 19 of our mini catalog. There it is, kind of tucked right down there. It's $18. Easy to miss, but it is fun. And let me show you one more thing with this. I get on the internet here. I get on doing these live videos and I think, oh, I'm going to be so organized every time. Every time. Be organized, Colleen. Just be organized. And then I get on here and I start talking with y'all and I think, but I have so much I want to show you. So anyway, look at this. Coordinates perfectly with that designer series paper. I'm going to pop one out just to show you. How cute is that? So that's not what we're using today, but I just had to show you because I think it's cute. Anyway, I'm going to line this up. Snip off a little bit there. I'm going to line this up here with the happy birthday right down there in the bigger part of the cloud and give that a snip. Just like that. While I have that cloud punch out, I grabbed, you can see this was a mistake piece. I save everything. I'm going to take my cloud punch on my Flirty Flamingo and give that a little punch. Now, I did want to take my Flirty Flamingo here, my brush tip, and I want to run it just to make it pop a little bit more. Right up, oops, shoot. Well, let's do that one again. This is why we have so much paper laying around, right? Let's just stamp that happy birthday again real quick. Because I have some birthday cards to send out. So let's give this another quick stamp here. And we'll just move this one along here. Thanks for bearing with me. All right, again, just right down there. I wasn't too worried about stamping straight on that because I knew I was going to do that. All right, let me hold this a little bit better this time. Maybe if I grab my tweezers. I love my tweezers. Okay, and let's just go around the edge here. If you don't like to go right with the marker, you can use your sponge dauber to go around in your ink pad if you don't have the markers. I keep saying markers, I mean blends. So if you don't have the blends, you can use a sponge dauber and your ink pad to do this. There you go. And then we are going to glue this piece here, like this. You know, that's just kind of my MO, isn't it? I'm going to call every product we have somewhat a little by the wrong name. I'm not really sure why that is, but it just is. All right, a little too much there. There we go. And then I want to wiggle this on here to kind of give just a little shadow and throw in a little bit extra color. Look at that, isn't that nice? You can see when I have all the time in the world, it's easier for me to do. Anyway, so now that piece is done. Now for the fun part, we're gonna construct our card. So eyeball this. You can get out your ruler and measure it. I am not overly fussy. The only thing I want is for my paper to line up. So I'm gonna kind of play around here a little bit and see which way I cut it. I can tell that one's the edge. This one, I usually keep them in order. Anyway, it's like a puzzle, isn't it? Just like a puzzle. There we go. Ta-da. That one goes like that. And we're gonna put that one just like that. Perfect. So line them up on your piece of paper here. I'm not overly fussy, like I said, so I'm going to eyeball it. If you are fussy and you like to have everything really accurate, by all means, grab your ruler and go ahead and measure out the sides. And if you measure out the sides, your middle one will line up perfectly. So I'm gonna put a little adhesive here because again, I want some wiggle room. I want to make sure that I can get my borders. That's what I'm a little fussy about, is making sure I have my borders even. There we go. And I'm gonna take my bone folder just to smooth out any bumpy glue in there. All right, we're gonna do the side here. And that's a brand new bottle of glue, so it's coming out. Don't you love when you open up the new stuff? It's like, oh, so nice. All right, we're gonna put the third piece in. So you can really see how you can use your designer series paper to make all these different levels of cards and use it up. I am not a paper hoarder. Some people hang on to their paper. That is not me. I like to use it because I like all the new stuff and I only have so much room. So I am definitely not a paper hoarder. I like to use it up. All right, so now let me get my seal here because I'm gonna put my ribbon here, and I kind of want my ribbon to lay right there. So pick where you want your ribbon. And I'm not going to make an actual bow. I'm kind of going to make just that knot, that faux bow as we call it. And I'm going to put this here. So I made those 3 cards lickety split yesterday. And you know, that is what I like. Like I said, I'm kind of every now and then I'll do a fun project, but I really am a simple stamper at heart. It's what I like. And I like cards, and I've said before, I mail most of my cards. So I really like to have things that are easy to mail. That just needs to be popped up a little bit. It's not laying where I want it to. Let's put a little bit more adhesive here. All thumbs this morning. Let's see. Let's look at it from the front when I do it. There we go. Ta-da! Perfect. All right, now we're gonna take our pool party and put this here. You can see how easily our card is coming together, right? So what's your weather like? You know, and if you are catching the replay, let me know where you're watching from. It's always fun for me to hear where people are watching from and what's going on, and also what you're making. Everyone is so creative. So my thing is I have been doing a lot of cross stitch projects too. It's one of my favorite things to do. And I'm still finishing up a project that I started around the holidays that I was hoping was going to be for the holidays and didn't get it done. And anyone who cross stitches will tell you that working with that gold thread is so difficult. That metallic gold thread, it wants to curl and everything else. It wants to curl and rotate and twist and turn. So I'm almost done with this project. I've been working for months on this particular one. And I'm on my last row of the gold. Very last row of the gold. And I finally figured out last night, after months of fighting with this, how to get it not to twist and turn. So if you're into cross stitching, give me a shout out and I will let you know the trick I figured out. Okay, so our happy birthday. We are popping up on some dimensionals here. You know, for those of us who love to craft, we can never just pick one. We have to have multiple out there, right? And hopefully I'm in screen. I'm sorry, guys. Normally I can screen a second device. I'm trying to look above every now and then, but I'm not very tall, so that's not as easy as it would seem. So let me see here. We're going to pop this right there. And I'll probably fix that little marker, make it a little bit more even. But in the interest in time, so I'm going to slip this under. We could do this beforehand, so it wasn't so tight. But, you know, I kind of wanted to make sure I got the bow in the right place. So this is a faux bow. You just really, it's a knot. It's a fancy knot. You just move it around so the flat part is on the front. And I'm going to give this a little snip on an angle. Okay, let's put our inside panel on and then we're going to put our gems on. I'm almost out of seal in this. I have my refill off to the side if I should run out. And then I could show you how to change it. All right, so we're going to put our Make-A-Wish panel on the inside here. Just like that. I just think this is a fun, festive card. I really like this. All right, now I toss those gems off to the side. Y'all know how I am. Okay, and here they are. So I'm going to put the 3 larger ones. I'm going to grab my paper piercer and pop that down there. And you can just see how easy it was to transform that color into one that matches just by buying this one sheet of the rhinestone gems. I think there's just staple items we should have in our craft room. The thick white cardstock is one of them. The Stampin' blends are great, but again, if you don't have the money to invest in every color and you have the ink pads, get the sponge dauber. I had one out to show you, but you know, I was using it and I think I popped it in the bathroom to rinse it out. So use the sponge dauber and your ink pad. It's another very easy, great way to get the color you need on your projects. All right, guys, so here is today's project. Look at this. So happy birthday. Everything's matching. And then the Make-A-Wish. This is the one that I made yesterday, which of course is a little better because I'm not on camera. And then again, you can change the entire look of this layout just with a different sentiment and different colors. And did I tell you that that sentiment came from the Party Puffins? This is the cutest stamp set. And Happy Birthday and Make-A-Wish are both in there. So this is just a another fun set. And then the Get Well Soon. And I thought this made a beautiful Get Well card. So really, you can get many cards out of one sheet of DSP in a little bit of time. And change the look. And that's what I like. So thank you for joining me. I will see you next Thursday, which, can you believe, February's almost over. And then there we are going right into March. So hopefully next week we'll have some maybe early springish weather, not any snow. Enjoy your day, enjoy your weekend, and I so appreciate the time you spend with me. See you next week.